So we're back with another rebuild today because you guys have been absolutely smashing every single like goal that I set for you guys. So we're back. And we're going to be doing the Boston Red Sox, the team that you guys decided in the poll. Speaking of polls, up here in the top corner is going to be some teams for you to choose for the next rebuild. Go up there and select the team that you want to see for the next video. So we're going to be focusing on the Boston Red Sox, the team that did win the poll. And I'm kind of excited. This team's going to be a little tough to work with. There are some aging players. There's not really the best of farm system, but they do have some good young players in Bogaerts, Devers, Benintendi, Verdugo. So we definitely have some pieces to work with. But we also got kind of like a declining team, so we'll see what we can do with them. But if you enjoyed the video, you guys want to see some more rebuilds, make sure you hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoy the content, and as always, in the comment section, get involved. Today I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you want to see career sims back on the channel? If you do, in the comment section, type I want to see career sims and put a player that you want me to do a career sim on. So be like career sim Ronald Acuna or career sim Fernando Tatis or whatever player you want to do. Just type it in the comment section, career sim, and the player that you want. So let me know in the comment section if you guys want to see career sims. So we're going to be using the roster that I created. I'm going to put the username that I have for the roster. If you type in that username, it'll pop up and you can download my roster. That's right, it's my roster that we're going to be using for all rebuilds. If you guys have any suggestions for changes or you notice any roster issues or anything like that, hit me up on Twitter and let me know any changes you think I should do. I'm definitely taking notes and whatnot, making the changes as I need to. So let me know if you guys notice anything wrong with them. Talking about social media, we're going to talk about Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, my Twitch. It's all down in the description. Go and give them a follow if you haven't yet. All right, that's enough talking. Let's get into this rebuild. So let's talk about this roster. In real life, Chris Sale's currently going to be having Tommy John, which is a huge blow to a Red Sox team that's already kind of iffy. But we got Eduardo Rodriguez, who I actually didn't realize had a phenomenal year last year. So he's looking like he could potentially be the new ace for the Red Sox going forward. Marcus Walden, Colin McHugh, Eovaldi, Stankiewicz. I think it's Stankiewicz. Might be Stankiewicz. I don't know. We'll call him Teddy. We're gonna call him Teddy. And you guys can see the rest of the pitching options. Not the greatest. We definitely might need. Not definitely, but we might need some help starting pitching. Relief pitchers, we got Barnes, Taylor, Hildenberger, Brazier, Hembry. So again, probably going to need a little bit of help, but we might have some glitchy options here. And our closer with Workman, I've seen him do really good in franchise, and I've seen him do really poorly. So we're going to have to see how he does with us. Christian Vasquez, I think, is a really good catcher. I think kind of underrated. You know, he's starting to show that he can hit the ball, so we're gonna keep at catcher. I'm cool with that. First base, Michael Chavez, 100% the guy there. Second base, we'll figure it out. I don't really know who to go with here. Peraza's okay, but I kind of want to find somebody else. Third base, Devers, not even gonna freak about it. Bobby Dahlbeck can play first. I mean, we could move Chavez to second, kind of the same thing with Tristan Casas. We could move one of those guys to first and then let Chavez play second. Xander Bogaerts at short, he's our guy, 100%. JD Martinez is our DH. He's a pure hitter. That's all he does now. That's our DH. Benintendi in left, perfect. I like him. I think he's a little bit underrated. Solid player. In center field, I'm most likely going to be looking to move in a different direction. We could move Verdugo to center field. He is a fantastic fielder. And then we could look to find a new right fielder or just find a new center fielder, whichever works best. And I've already talked about Verdugo, so that's the squad. The big thing with this team is budget wise, we are in a very tricky spot. You got JD Martinez contract, Dustin Pedroia, we got Moreland, JBJ. So luckily they come off the books after this year. But man, this is tough. This is tough. We're gonna have to figure out how to make this work, especially since I'm pretty sure we have a pretty gross contract down here to worry about. No, okay. So we're gonna have to figure something out, and I don't know what. I'm probably gonna have to start with trading one of the Sox legends, Dustin Pedroia, and I hate to do it, but let's try to find a trade. So the first trade we're going to do is acquire Hansel Robles and Jacob Barnes. This is basically just a salary dump on the Angels, and potentially Robles and Barnes could be okay bullpen arms since we do kind of need a little bit of help in the bullpen. So we're only going to make that one change because I don't want to change the team up too much, and I feel like, you know, we have quite a few players coming off the books. Moreland, JBJ, Martin Perez, Kevin Pillar. So I feel like we could open up a lot of money. Actually, ooh, we got to get rid of that. Let's go get rid of that. All right, we're going after someone with kind of a big contract as well in Carlos Martinez. I figured, you know what? This is a good little option for a starter. It could work out. It might not, but let's try it out. We're going to trade Daniel McGrath, who stats-wise per 9 is looking a little weak. You have all these pretty bad contract. And then Tristan Casas, which probably shouldn't trade one of our better prospects, but let's try to get a good pitcher in Carlos Martinez. So after the trades, this is the team. I didn't want to change too much. As you can see, just a bullpen arm in Robles, and then Carlos Martinez. And then lineup wise, you know, it's still looking really good. Obviously, we do have some aging players, but I think once we let some of those bigger contracts go, we can start bringing in some new guys, and I think we can really build this team. So let's see how season 1 goes. I'll see you guys once we get those draft picks. That's kind of the big thing. I really want to get someone we can use throughout this rebuild. So I'll see you guys in a sec. So we got to the draft, we got through it all, and there were a couple players that 2 of them got drafted before me, and 1 of them I did not pick because I went a different route. So let's go look at those guys that I didn't select that I was kind of interested in, and then we'll look at our teams. So the one that I really wanted, but I decided to go with a different player, and I'm really regretting it now, is Will Pendergast. This is the guy that I was like, I'm going to select him, and then I decided to do somebody else instead, and I am regretting it. Holy cow, he looks so good. He looks insane. I can't believe I didn't choose him. So this was one of them that got selected before me. 65 overall, Michael Sanchez, center fielder. Looks pretty decent. But I think Pendergast was the one that's going to be like the one that got away. You know what I'm saying? And the last one actually played for the Padres. So let's hop over there really quick before we take a look at our team. And let's see what this guy was. James Shim. Dude, the dude's got a stash for days, but look at those hitting stats already. Fielding wise, he's atrocious, but really good hitting stats. So now let's go take a look at our pick. Okay, you know what? Those aren't bad picks. 67 overall right fielder. Definitely his fielding's holding him back. I'm thinking about moving him to left field, and then we can either move Verdugo or Benintendi into center field. He's got speed. He's got a good bat. So that's why I went with him. Rich Cruz, 86 overall, or 86 potential with 60 overall. We got Dominic Garcia, who's almost 70 overall already. I'm liking those per 9s. He could potentially be a season 4 guy. And then we got 89 potential for Matthew Cabrera. I still think Pendergast was probably the right choice, and I'm kind of kicking myself for it. So maybe we try to trade for him towards the end of the rebuild, but that's our picks. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. I mean, looking at the schedule, how things are playing out, we potentially could sneak into this wild card spot. I wasn't expecting that season 1. I was expecting us to be, you know, a team that didn't make the playoffs, obviously, but we might sneak in here. We actually won the division. Oh, okay. 94-68, taking on the Angels. Okay, I did not expect that at all. I'm being 100% honest with you guys. I mean, we are 5th in baseball, but I don't think our roster is as good as a 5th ranking kind of says, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So JD Martinez is obviously going to be a huge asset to the team, but let's just take a look, see how some players are leading the league in certain categories. So I'm trying to pick up some names here, see if we can acquire some of these guys later on in the rebuild. I've been seeing Franmil Reyes be kind of a beast recently. We don't really need a DH because we have JD Martinez, but he definitely could be someone that I keep my eye on for future rebuilds. I'm trying to think of players that we could really use, maybe like a second baseman or a center fielder, and I'm not, besides like Trout, I'm not really getting that. And I know we just drafted that guy, but the guy, I forgot what his name was already, but I don't think he's gonna be ready for a couple seasons. So it's definitely something we could try to find a new center fielder. So I've been talking throughout this whole time as I show you the stats, and I was just trying to talk while I show you stuff rather than it just being dead silent and I'm showing you stats. So MVPs were Trout and Freeman, DeGrom and Cole were Cy Young. Batting title winners, you got reliever of the year was Will Smith and Alex Kalame, and then Yoshi Tsutsugo was rookie of the year along with Shogo Akiyama. So there you go. There's your award winners. There's your league leaders. Let's take a look at how our bullpen and pitching staff did. Teddy, pretty solid, 3.55 ERA, solid. Hildenberger was good. Brazier struggled a bit. Josh Taylor was solid. Hansel Robles, okay. Matt Barnes struggled a bit. He might be a player I just let walk, and Brandon Workman was pretty solid, especially since we have a couple guys here like in the 70s who could potentially come up and do the job, you know, like a Jacob Barnes, maybe a Darwinzon, maybe Austin Bryce, who's usually kind of glitchy in franchise for some reason, just one of those players that plays above his overall. Chris Sale, lights out, definitely could have been in the Cy Young talks. Marcus Walden was pretty bad, definitely not going to bring him back. I think we can use his money somewhere else. You know, he's pretty cheap, but I don't know. It's just something about it's just making me think we should use that money somewhere else. Colin McHugh, kind of the same deal, just not amazing. Eduardo Rodriguez, pretty solid, definitely going to move up in the rotation along with Carlos Martinez. So pitching wise, some players were really solid. For the majority, most of them were really solid. There's just those couple outliers that are like, we probably should let them go. So looking at our bench, pretty lackluster. Benintendi hit 266. Probably going to try to move him out of the leadoff spot. Not really a true leadoff guy. Michael Chavez hit 250, 23 home runs, 22 doubles. Okay, not terrible. JD Martinez was, I mean, good, like really good. That's what you expect from JD Martinez. Xander Bogaerts is another player I'm glad we have on the team. He's definitely going to be a good offensive threat. When you look at Rafael Devers, kind of the same thing. I don't understand why potential would go down. He looks unreal. Like these three right here, heart of the lineup, perfect. Mitch Moreland, you know what? Not terrible. Not terrible at all. I'll take that for Mitch Moreland. Alex Verdugo, 22 home runs. Okay, I see you. Pretty solid. Christian Vasquez hit 16. Potential's going up as well. Gotta love it. And JBJ actually hit 17 home runs, which is not bad. Not bad at all. So, okay, pretty happy with the team. I definitely think we can make, you know, a little push in the playoffs, potentially. I mean, we swept the Angels, taking on the Indians now. So let's get the squad all set up. Let's go Sale, Rodriguez, Martinez. I mean, the 4 and the 5 spot, I'm just not comfortable with at all. That's definitely an area we need to improve on. And as we kind of make our way through the teams easily, what is going on here? What? I was not expecting this season 1. Okay, that's a little bit more of a bring you down to earth situation. We got swept by the Dodgers, but we made the World Series season 1. That's interesting. I would have not expected that at all. So here we go, off season time. I still think we can get better. That's the crazy thing. I didn't think we were that good of a team. You look at our roster, I don't think it's that good of a team. I thought we could have done a lot better. So I think Workman's really the only guy that I would bring back. And I'm not even 100% sold on his abilities, so I'm gonna do that. Not even gonna give him the closer spot, and then the rest, you can walk. Not really invested in those guys. I think we could use the money somewhere else. So let's take a look. 40 man. Ooh, who's that Chad De La Guerra guy? How did I miss him? Is he really part of the Red Sox organization? He is. He actually had a pretty solid AAA season. 78, probably a little bit too high of a rating for him, but we could give him a shot. Definitely could give him a shot. So arbitration. Matt Barnes, do I give you another year? I think I might have to, just in case there's no other pitching options available. I'm going to let Hembry go. I'm going to let Brazier go, and then I'll just sign up the other guys. But for the most part, I'm going to bring everybody back besides these two. So let's look at contracts really quick. I think this is a good area. Walden, I'm not sure about. How much does he want? $3 million. I'm going to compare him to other pitchers. Let's see what they're asking for. But for the most part, I'm going to bring everybody back. Maybe not Weber, I think that I saw there. Let's take a look at some pitchers because we're looking for like a 4 and a 5, right? That's what we're kind of in the market for. So Alex Wood, potentially an option. $6 million. Okay, so we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm not looking to try to break the bank on a 4 and a 5, but if there's nobody else, we might have to spend a little bit more. So I'll see you guys at the start of season 2. Season 2, we're going for a guy that we should have went for in the last rebuild. That's Giovanni Gallegos. He looks like a really good closer for rebuilds, and I think it's a good pickup. We're going to get rid of Cole Sturgeon, Marco Hernandez, and Matt Barnes, and we're going to pick up our new closer in Gallegos. I think that might be the only move that I make for season 2 outside of the moves that I made in the off season. So let's take a look. Budget wise, we've moved up a little bit. We're around that 1 million mark, but I definitely want to improve that so we at least can be comfortable in certain areas, so, or like when we need to actually spend the money to sign players. So Chris Sale, Eduardo Rodriguez, Carlos Martinez, Alex Wood, I did decide to bring them in, and then we got Teddy rounding up the starting rotation. I decided to give Walden one more shot. I saw with his 65 stamina, maybe he would do a little bit better in that long relief role. And then our bullpen, we're going to add Barnes, who we actually acquired with Hansel Robles as well. And then you got Josh Taylor, Giovanni Gallegos, and then Brandon Workman. So far, I'm liking it. It definitely could be improved a little bit. We have Darwinzon and Austin Bryce, who could potentially get called up next year. Maybe Feltman as well. And we got a couple okay pitchers here. And then I know we have a pitching prospect, Dominic Garcia, who I'm thinking is going to be the closer for the future. Hopefully. And then we look at our lineup. So far so good. We brought back JBJ, Aledmus Diaz. Devin Travis was in free agency. I figured let's pick him up as a platoon option, nothing too crazy. And then when you look at our starting lineup, Mark Canha is going to take over for center field for a season. And then Chad De La Guerra, I'm going to give him a shot at second base, see how it goes. I mean, the team looks good. We obviously made the World Series last year. I feel like we improved from last year, so I don't see why we wouldn't make the World Series again, as I dropped my controller. But the player I'm looking forward to the most is Julius Deyoung, and you're probably thinking, well, how is he a 70 already? I moved him from right field to left field, so he does get a little bit of a boost based on the fact that left field's a little bit easier than right field. So hopefully by the time season 4 comes around, he'll be MLB ready. We can slot him into the lineup and we'll be in a good spot. So that's the team. Not many changes. I definitely think season 3 and season 4 where I'm gonna go kind of crazy with it, make some trades, make some free agent signings and things like that. So season 2, another tester season, and see how we do. I'll see you guys at the end of it. So I figured I'd show you season 2's draft, especially another team's picks. I think I got 3 teams that have some really good picks. So let's go take a look at them. The first one is this pitcher, Steve Killian. I mean, those per 9s already look really good, and he's only 18. Probably won't be a player that we could get into this rebuild, but definitely a player I was pretty impressed with. The next one is actually a player that is definitely on my radar, Luke Meadows, 72 overall, first baseman. I definitely think this could be a player that could play first base for us. I'm going to keep my eye on him 100%. And the other one played for the Pirates, and this guy, Anthony McCain, little lackluster now that I look at him, but those other 2 guys looked really solid, so I'm gonna have to keep my eye on them for sure. Let's go take a look at our picks. Luis Benitez was probably one of the better ones that we got, 88 potential, but most likely won't feature in this rebuild. A couple like decent platoon options that we might have, Akinori Fukumori. What a name, first off, but that's a pretty okay catcher, really good defensively. Nino Cortez, a decent little backup first baseman, potentially could be even better than that. We got Leonard Nomo, 57 overall, probably won't feature in this rebuild either. Actually, I know he won't, but that's our draft for season 2. Let's get into the rest of it. So again, season 2 is going really well. Like, the team is, I don't know, I feel like this team is overperforming, even though we're ranked one of the best teams in baseball, because like, again, we have some good players, but we don't really have great players. Like, you look at the Mets team that we put together, I thought that team was a lot better than this one, but we're just running away with it. 101 wins, are you kidding me? Let's take a look at the league leaders, the standings as well. We beat the Rays by 5 games. I mean, we're 6th in baseball, but like, I don't know. I feel like this team's just crazy. I mean, I didn't think it would be this good. JD Martinez and Xander Bogaerts, as well as Chris Sale, having some league leading stats. So again, you guys are going to see all the league leading stats. I've already have an idea for a trade that I want to do for next year, just to really solidify this team. It's an offensive move, but I'm not going to spoil it just yet. Because I definitely want to keep it a secret. This one I kind of hinted at in a different rebuild, and let's see if you guys would have picked up on it. So I mean, there's some pretty standard league leaders there. Gold Glove and a Cy Young for Chris Young. Yordan Alvarez was MVP. Manny Machado was MVP. That's the first time I've seen that happen. Sonny Gray got the Cy Young along with Chris Sale. Batting title went to Rendon and Yelich. Sir Anthony Dominguez was one of the players I looked for instead of going the route we did, but I guess I didn't go for the right one. DJ Carew and Alec Baum were Rookie of the Years. So let's go take a look at our pitching staff, see how that went. Marcus Walden, just not the player for us. Probably going to look somewhere else. Hildenberger, probably going to let him go as well. Just didn't really do well. Hansel Robles is just really carrying his load there, huh? Jacob Barnes, not as good as I would have hoped. So maybe bullpen areas where we need to improve. Josh Taylor didn't really do it. Brandon Workman was pretty solid. And Giovanni Gallegos, who I said I was looking at Sir Anthony Dominguez, but Giovanni Gallegos did the job just as well. Chris Sale, fantastic. He was Cy Young winner, of course. Eduardo Rodriguez, really? Yikes. Same with Carlos Martinez. Alex Wood was good. Teddy as a 5, that's not bad, but man, starting pitching, even the bullpen, pretty disappointing. Looking at our bench, Devin Travis and 10 at bats. I mean, I'll take that. Pretty solid. Benintendi got the average up, got the OPS up, more home runs, more doubles. I like to see that. When you look at Xander Bogaerts, he's just going to be a hitting machine. 53 doubles, 34 home runs, like a 10-22 OPS. Like, we've got MVP caliber type player there. JD Martinez, 50 home runs. I mean, again, another MVP type caliber player. Devers, similar situation. I mean, like I said, these 3 guys are just going to be absolutely insane for the team. And I can see why we're probably performing a little bit more than what I'm expecting because of our good offensive ability. Mark Canha even hit 23 home runs. You got Chavez hitting 323 with 30 home runs. Okay. All right. Verdugo hit 269, which was an improvement from last year. The OPS did drop a little bit though, but overall, you know, pretty similar to what he did last year. Christian Vasquez, I mean, I don't see why he would be going down. Those are still pretty similar to what his career averages are, so not bad. And Chad De La Guerra is probably going to be more of a platoon option for me going forward, but not terrible, not great. And heading into the actual postseason, we're taking on the Twins, and okay, we got eliminated. We got swept. Okay, that is disappointing for sure, but you know what? Like I said, I just don't feel like this team's good enough. And you can see the pitching staff was very disappointing. So I can see why we had a little bit of trouble the second year. So like I said, season 3, season 4, I'm definitely making changes. I already have them in mind. Let's take a look here. So Brandon Workman has actually been decent for us, and 7 million. I'm gonna decline this one. Christian Vasquez, I do want to bring back. Not for 10 though. That's a little high, but I guess he's gonna be our starting catcher. It's okay. Alex Wood was pretty solid, and for 7 million, that's not terrible. I'm gonna let Robles go, Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mark Canha. And then when we look at our team, I'm gonna give these guys another chance. We'll see what happens. 11.5 million is a lot of money, and I know Carlos Martinez is gonna want similar. He's gonna want a little bit more, but they're better pitchers than what they did last year. So I feel like we can definitely do something with them. So did I not accept or decline all my options? I guess we'll take it and we'll let the rest of the guys walk. I don't know about that one, but let's take a look at what we could do. So we got all of our pitching staff back. Marcus Walden will not be there, so we need a long reliever and like a middle relief arm, which, I mean, I think we kind of have, right? Can Dorwinson come up? Maybe not yet. What about this guy? He's close. He might be next year. For sure. Lineup wise, center fielder. That's it. Center fielder. That's all it is. So I definitely have the person in mind. Julius Deyoung. He might be the new left fielder, and then we just rock with our standard outfield. We're gonna rock with everybody there, give them a contract. For arbitration, actually I wasn't impressed with our bullpen, so I'm gonna let these 3 go. Not even gonna offer it to them, and then I guess I'll offer the other guys arbitration because they were platoon options that I'm not gonna freak out about. So bullpen, and that's really our biggest. Bullpen is our biggest issue, you know, because we're not going to have these guys. So we're definitely going to be attacking the bullpen for sure. All right, so season 3, and the player that I wanted to bring in, the player that I was hinting at, was Hunter Dozier. And without trading some of our better players, we can't really get him, which is disappointing because I actually really wanted him in the lineup. I wanted him to be our first baseman. So we'll take a look at the team, see how like it's changed. Edwin Ciarte's come in to be kind of a platoon option. Marco Hernandez was in free agency, so we brought him back. Aledmys Diaz, Devin Travis, and Kevin Plawecki. You guys can see the team here. Julius Deyoung is going to be our like platoon outfielder. Bobby Dahlbeck has been moved to first base, even though he has a cannon. I feel like being at first base, he'll be okay. The overall is dropped because I moved him from third to first, but with his hitting stats, I really want him in the lineup. Chavez is moving to second, and then not much has changed with the team. Pitching rotation wise, Chris Archer has been is going to be our long reliever, and Darwinzon just doesn't give me confidence, right? And I'm looking at that. We brought in Ryan Presley as well. We brought in Adumre Ramos through Rule 5 draft, so you guys can see the contract there, and I'll show you Presley's contract as well. So I'll also show you all the contracts in total. So what I'm thinking about doing is getting rid of Darwinzon, and the player that I want to acquire was a draft pick a few seasons back, and that is Will Pendergast. He looks insane. He hasn't gone up too much in overall, but I think Teddy's a good player to get rid of for this because he's not really going to get too much better. And I feel like, you know, let's just hold off and see if we can get a different starting pitcher in the long run. And for this, I'm actually okay with that straight up. That's our new long, that's a new reliever for us. We'll put Pendergast right there. And then we could even just do Archer there and then find a new long reliever, possibly trade for one. We could even look in like free agency, see if there's anybody here. Not anybody there, but like maybe Charlie Morton, Max Scherzer. How was Chase Anderson last year? Pretty atrocious. Jordan Lyles is usually a good go-to for me. Wasn't terrible, but you know what? I'm actually going to trade for somebody. I'm going to see if we can just trade Darwinzon for someone straight up. All right, this guy plays for the Cubs, Alec Mills. Stats look okay. He's going to be our long reliever for Darwinzon straight up trade. And I think that's what we're going to rock with for the season. It's kind of crazy to have Chris Archer pitching for us, but he's going to be our fifth. And I really wanted Will Pendergast. The other guy that I was looking at was that first baseman Meadows, who plays for the Phillies. He's actually pretty solid. He's also a top prospect. Let's get to the Phillies. I'll show you guys what he looks like right now. I definitely looked into him. Luke Meadows. I mean, look at those hitting stats. That's insane. He's also got decent speed and stealing. So definitely a player I'd be like interested in getting, especially since he's not going to be that hard to trade for. But I'm going to hold off for now. I want to see if we can like make a really big trade next year, because like when you look at the team, it looks really good. I have faith in Pendergast. I have faith in Presley, Gallegos. These guys, these two right here are going to have bounce back years. And then when you look at our lineup, it's been the core. JD Martinez becomes a free agent after this year, so I'm thinking of just letting him go and using that money to maybe try to bring back Mookie Betts. I think that would be kind of cool. But our budget's sitting at $1 million. And like I said, JD Martinez leaves this year. Alex Wood does, Workman, and there's a couple other players who would leave, and we could use that money to improve the squad. So again, I tried to make a trade. I really wanted Hunter Dozier to play first base for us, but it's kind of cool to get these prospects involved, especially since normally I don't do that in rebuilds. I just try to trade for the best players possible. So I'm trying to take a new approach to rebuilds this year, and yeah, that's about it. If you guys think I should just go crazy with the trades and really do that, let me know in the comment section. But if you guys enjoy seeing some of these prospects come into the team and we kind of do a mix of like trades, free agency signings, and just letting prospects develop, let me know what you prefer in the comment section down below. But I'm kind of liking trying out new players and letting prospects develop, and then just kind of see how it goes. So season 3, let's see how it goes. All right, so after all those changes that we made to the lineup, maybe it was a little too much tinkering because we're only a wild card team, which is the first time this has happened in the series, or the rebuild I should say. We finished 3 games out. We're the 3rd ranked team in baseball, so you would think we'd do a little bit better, but maybe this is the time where like our team's just not good enough. So looking at the league leaders, it was Bogaerts for a few. I accidentally hit X, and Eduardo Rodriguez had the most wins. So you guys can see some of the stats here. It's looking like we may need to just really go hard with the pitching staff. I think that's going to be an area that we were really let down this season once again. Because again, offensively, I know we have the talent to do really well. It just all depends on how pitching does. As I say that, we had 2 of the top pitchers in wins. And then when we take a look at the rest of them, I think it's going to be a bullpen area that's going to really let us down. So let's take a look at the awards, see where We won a Gold Glove, and also Delivery Man of the Year with Giovanni Gallegos. So maybe the pitching wasn't where we were let down this season. So Trout was MVP along with Christian Yelich. You got Patrick Corbin and Shane Bieber as the Cy Young winners. Bregman and Peralta batting title, and then reliever of the year was Kirby Yates and Giovanni Gallegos. Sherton Apostle, what a name, hit 30 home runs. That dude looks insane. And then Dylan Carlson won it for the National League. Had an okay year, but that other guy looked unreal. So let's take a look at our pitching. Alec Mills was kind of doing similar numbers to what all of our long relievers have done. Josh Taylor is definitely a player I'm not bringing back. He only had 1 year left on his deal, so I decided to keep him. Ramos was solid. Workman, probably not going to keep. Pendergast, okay, he's definitely only going to get better. So, we got to expect, that he's going to get better. Presley was phenomenal, and Gallegos was the reliever of the year for a reason. Like, he was outstanding. Looking at our starting pitching, Sale was great. Eduardo Rodriguez had wins and a good amount of wins, but that ERA is still really high, along with Carlos Martinez. So even though they're both high-rated pitchers, I might look to trade them because I definitely think we can get similar rated pitchers who will perform better for cheaper. Alex Wood, terrible, and Chris Archer, terrible. So yeah, besides Chris Sale, it looks like our starters were pretty bad. Even the whips are high, and that's kind of a concerning stat as well. So when we take a look at our bench, Anderson Ciarte was a great platoon option. And anybody else, not really. When you look at Benintendi, though, he had a great year. He's looking like he's going to be our leadoff hitter. He looks fantastic. Good amount of home runs. He gets on base. He gets stolen bases. He looks just really solid. Rafael Devers is up to a 94. He's hitting 30-plus home runs a season now. He's hitting over 300. He is a must-pick-up in franchise. When you look at J.D. Martinez, he's still around the 90 mark. Power numbers are starting to dip a little, but you know what? If we can't find a better DH, we might have to bring him back. Xander Bogaerts has been fantastic, and he's only going to get better. 55 doubles. His power numbers are going up and up and up. He's just getting better. Michael Chavez had a bit of a down year, which is disappointing to see, especially after moving him to second. I thought that would have helped him out a little bit, but I guess not. Disappointing, but you know what? It still wasn't terrible. But I would have expected a little bit better. Verdugo still kind of doing similar numbers to what he's already been doing. So, I want him to improve, but it doesn't look like he might. It just kind of looks like he might not get past that 260 mark. Julius Deyoung, rookie year, I'll take that. Was it phenomenal? No, but he's only going to get better, and I think that he can definitely be our starting left fielder. Christian Vazquez, similar to what he's been doing this entire rebuild. And Bobby Dahlbeck in his first full season, I'm cool with that. Almost 30 home runs. Oh, yeah. I think we got good pieces. If we can find a suitable DH replacement for JD Martinez, I think we'll be in a really good spot offensively. I think we had some players have a couple down years, and then we definitely need to spend money pitching wise. So here we go. It's time to quick manage. It's season 3. We've been to the World Series. We've been knocked out in the first round. We need to start winning, basically. That's what it comes down to. So can we do it here against Barrios? Looking at their team, it looks like they haven't changed anything with that team. So hopefully we don't get knocked out here in the wild card game. That would be atrocious. We had a guy on third, couldn't get that run in. So maybe Mitch Garver, come on, man. You got to do me like that. It's still 2-0. I think Jose Barrios is just going to outduel us, unfortunately. Chris Sale's been pitching great, but it's looking like we're limited with our offensive ability today. So yeah, when our top hitters are 1 for 11 or 2 for 11, something's not going right, and that's the game. Wow. That's disappointing to see. So definitely gonna make some trades for sure. The Marlins defeated the Yankees. Okay, all right. And to be honest, we've only been going downhill since we've started this rebuild, which is really disappointing to see. We haven't been getting any better. So JD Martinez, I'm going to decline these options because I want to spend that money somewhere else. Benintendi, 100% stay with the team. I'm going to give you a little bit more money because I definitely want you to stay. I don't want him to go anywhere else. And the rest, you know what? I think this is a clear out. We're letting everybody go besides Benintendi. JD Martinez, $14 million actually. You know what? I'm down for that. That's fine. That's actually not bad. I'm cool with keeping that. We got to keep some part of the team together, right? So let's get into it. Let's see what we can do in this offseason. Arbitration wise, let's see. Not Taylor, but I'll offer it to the rest of the guys because you know what, they weren't terrible. And then when you look at contracts, I'm gonna offer everybody a contract. Especially, he might actually be a decent bullpen option too. We'll see. But let's take a look at what we need here because we need a completely new pitching staff, which we have the money to do it. I can guarantee you that. $5 million is so much money. We're gonna lose Taylor, but everybody else is gonna be here. So we need 2 bullpen arms, and then we need 4 starters. I definitely can do that, especially since our lineup is unchanged, minus Benintendi, who did not sign that contract. All right, Benintendi is a huge must pickup, and then getting some starting pitching, and I think this team's set. Season 4, last season, and to be honest, a couple changes, but nothing. I mean, actually, yeah, we had a few changes because we needed a whole new pitching staff, right? So let's take a look at the roster history. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Clevenger's new, Elvis Andrus is new, Taylor Rogers, Marco Hernandez is back, Will Pendergast was a trade last year, Trevor Williams and Joe Musgrove. Those are the kind of the big additions. You guys can see our budget's still pretty healthy at $1 million. Chris Sale does become a free agent after this year, but we got Benintendi back. We brought in Clevenger, Musgrove, and Trevor Williams. Those were kind of the big ones, along with Taylor Rogers. And I mean, when you look at the team, pitching wise, really strong. I think Alec Mills is still a decent long reliever. Ramos, Pendergast, Taylor Rogers, Dominic Garcia, the guy we drafted in the season 1 draft, Presley, Gallegos. Really the only downside is Thad Ward, and I'm considering not using him and using Jake Groom instead. It's pretty close. Alfonso Rivera doesn't look that great, and that's kind of the tough part. I don't really have anybody else who I have faith in giving the 5th starting spot to, unless we signed somebody. But even the options that are available to sign really aren't that great. So it's either give it to Thad Ward, Jake Groom, or we make a trade. And I feel like that's probably our best option, making the trade, because you guys can see our bench. This was the guy we drafted first season. I forgot already, but it was a catcher we drafted. He looks decent. And our offensive lineup looks amazing. I'm absolutely loving it. So I guess we could try to make a trade Thad Ward for somebody, see if we could get somebody. So I'll be back in a sec. So we made the trade. We're going to go for Aaron Savali of the Indians for Thad Ward, Rich Cruz, and then Marco Hernandez. So the 2 pitching prospects are Thad Ward and Rich Cruz. I mean, his stats actually look pretty decent. I'll show you, or his attributes, I should say. I'll show you them in a sec once we get him into this. Probably what? 3rd spot. I mean, you look at those attributes, those are pretty good. His stats for the last couple seasons have been solid as well. So pretty good pickup. Pretty happy with that. And so yeah, that's the team. I guess we rock with. I guess we could sign somebody to be an extra bench bat. Who do we need? I guess we need an extra outfielder. Actually, we'll need a couple players. So you know what? Let's bring back him. He was pretty solid for a season. And I think that's actually it. I don't think we can afford another spot. Yeah, we're full. So there it is. That's the team for the season. I like it. I think it's really good. This is a team that should win. I know we've been going downhill rather than uphill since the first season we made it to the World Series, and we haven't been back since. But I think this is a team that definitely should be able to make it to the World Series again. 4th ranked in baseball. Budget wise, I think we're really set. The big player that we'd have to worry about losing is Chris Sale, along with Rafael Devers. And to be honest, I think Chris Sale, I would let walk, and I'd focus, bringing in Devers, Verdugo, trying to keep Chavez, Gallegos, players like that, rather than the aging Chris Sale. So I still think we'd be really good financially, and I want to see how season 4 plays out. I'll see you guys at the end of it. All right, it's looking very good. This might be the year, because I think we're about to hit our 90 wins in a couple wins here. And actually, if we have a bad month, we might be in a little bit of trouble. So we're at 90 wins. Like, we still haven't even gotten that 90th win, which is making me a little worried. Can we start sweeping teams here? No more losses. 102-60. That's what I want to see. Won the division, taking on the winner of the wild card, which after last rebuild, it does kind of worry me, especially since it's the wild card team, and we all know what that means for me. So we won the division by 10 games. We're still 5th in baseball, And let's take a look at some league leaders. Xander Bogaerts, batting average and hits, and Chris Sale, shutouts and WAR. So as we go through the league leaders, it's any interesting names popping up? Triples. This guy looks like he's a prospect of some sort, maybe someone that got drafted, but for the most part it looks like the pretty standard names that you would expect. Franmil Reyes is definitely a player I need to try out as well. I'm seeing his name pop up a lot for these league leading stats, so it's definitely a player I'm like, okay, maybe I need to pick him up, see him drop like 60 home runs or something like that, something crazy, because I'm seeing crazy stats for him already. Awards wise, Silver Slugger for Bogaerts and a Gold Glove for Bobby Dahlbeck. And as you can see, the MVP, we might as well just call it the Yordan Alvarez award at this point, because that's all he ever does, is he just wins MVP. Flaherty, Cole, Bogaerts, and Soto for batting title, and then reliever of the year went to Hader and Trevor May, the Twitch streamer. Rookie of the year was Orlando Francisco and James Shim, which was actually one of the guys that I considered drafting in season 1, and he looks amazing. Holy cow, he's insane. Holy smokes. Let's take a look at our team. Alec Mills was okay. You know what? Still pretty, acceptable for a long reliever. I'll take that any day. And Ruben Ramos, fantastic. Will Pendergast really just never really got it together, which is disappointing. Hopefully he can continue to develop if we were to continue this rebuild. Taylor Rogers was great. Dominic Garcia was pretty atrocious, which sucks to see. Potential is also dropped, which is another bummer. Ryan Presley was fantastic, and he continues to be fantastic for us. He's got one more year. I would definitely keep him. And then Giovanni Gallegos has been a phenomenal closer for us. Have been absolutely loving that we didn't have to worry about a closer throughout this rebuild. When we look at their starters, Chris Sale was great, fantastic throughout this entire rebuild. Didn't have a bad season. Gotta love it. Clevenger, not what you want to see after you just paid someone $15 million. We just acquired Aaron Savale, kind of the same situation. Joe Musgrove is definitely our number 2 now. Fantastic year, 310 with a 1.13 whip. That's great. And Trevor Williams was fantastic as well. Gotta love to see that. Like, at least some of the guys that we picked up performed. Looking at our bench, Elvis Andrews was all right. NCRT is just like one of those cheap platoon options that if you ever need a good hitting outfield, that's what you're going to get with NCRT. Akemi was okay. And Fukumori was pretty good, actually. 114 at-bats, 307 average. Pretty good. Benintendi hit over 300. He cracked the 30 home run mark with 34 doubles and 936 OPS with 21 stolen bases. That's pretty impressive. Devers hit 268. So in terms of average, his worst year, but in terms of just doubles, home runs, and RBIs, still very comparable to what he's been doing. Xander Bogaerts, 93 overall, 34 doubles, 39 home runs. I mean, the guy is just doing whatever he can to win games. Like, he's literally carrying the team on his back. JD Martinez is still putting up really good numbers. I mean, last year was a down year and it was still pretty good, and then he just topped it. So Michael Chavez is, you know what, maybe he's just a teen home run hitter. Maybe this was just like an outlier season, because what I'm seeing with him is kind of disappointing. Julius Deyoung just not putting it together, which sucks, because like, he's getting a good amount of at-bats. He's getting the reps, and like, you see the vision, you see the discipline. You would think he'd be getting a little bit better production. I mean, he is 22. I guess I shouldn't be getting on his back. He's definitely only going to get better. So, I guess I'm being a little harsh there. Verdugo has been going down throughout this entire rebuild, which is disappointing. Christian Vasquez is doing Christian Vasquez things, just over 10 home runs, around 50 RBIs, and about 20 doubles. I mean, that's what he does. And then Bobby Dahlbeck, there we go. The potential went down, which is disappointing, but doubles, home runs, and stuff went up. So he's getting better, even though the potential says he's not. So, or yeah, you know what I mean. It's good stuff to see. So here we go against the Astros, and we're about to get eliminated. It's just written in the stars. Like, we had that first season, I talked so much trash about our team, saying they were not that good of a team, and what happens? They didn't want to perform for me for the rest of the rebuild. So they have JP Crawford, G-Man Choi, Marcus Semien, the Rookie of the Year, Francisco. So we're gonna have to do a reverse sweep if we want to stay, in the playoffs. Oh, Rafael Devers goes deep, Martinez goes deep. We got a 5-run lead. So let's kind of move a little bit quicker through this, because with a win, we do have to go you know, 2 more wins after this. So I don't want to sit here and just constantly or just slowly grind through this. So I'm going to take out Clevenger. I'm going to bring in, let's go Adubre Ramos. Perfect. Love to see it. And let's get through this kind of quicker, as we should close it out. I give it to Ramos as long as things don't get a little crazy. They're getting a little crazy. Let's just bring in Presley. He should shut the door for us. He should shut the door for us. Okay, Gallegos. Ooh, things got a little dicey at the end there. I did not like that whatsoever. Oh, man. That was a little scary. I'm not going to lie. I thought that was all over 100%. We're going to go. We'll go Aaron Savali against Josh James. And I feel good about this. I mean, there's one run already. Wasn't able to get another one. But, ooh, that was a tough jam that we just got out of. Christian Vasquez is brought in by Bobby Dahlbeck. And then Bogaerts goes deep, gives us that 5-run lead once again. So back-to-back games, an early 5-run lead. We just got to hold on to it as G-Man Choi goes deep and brings it within 2. But then Bogaerts is on fire. He's feeling it today. And we're up, what, 12-3. Let's start doing the quicker sim. I'm going to take out our pitcher next inning because he is absolutely killed. And I feel like we probably should be a little safer now. 14-6. It's still 14-6. Things are looking pretty good here. Taylor Rogers should give us maybe the close. I mean, can he shut the door? If he allows one more runner, I think, yeah, I'll take him out here. We'll go to Presley. He'll shut the door, and we're right back in it. We're 1 game away from advancing to the next round of the postseason, which would have us taking on the Twins or the Athletics. So hopefully we can get past it. I think Chris Sale would be good to go for today, which I'm gonna put my faith in our ace throughout this entire rebuild, that he can give us that one last push. Can we get this sack fly? Bogaerts gets the job done. Small ball, that's what we need to do. We get out of that jam. They didn't score there. That was big for us. 1 run scores thanks to Christian Vasquez. That's okay. We're scoring when we need to. Tie ball game. That's tough. Chavez, please strike out. You couldn't just pop it up into the outfield. That's all we needed. Just need a little fly ball, you know, the small ball, the stuff that they teach you when you're a little kid, that kind of stuff. Hit by pitch. I need our draft pick to do something here. And a fly out. Man, you gotta be kidding. Jordan, man, come on. You can't tear me down like this. You can't tear me down like this. Bases loaded for our all-star, our MVP, Bogaerts. Fielder's choice. Oh, and another run scores. Are you kidding me? All right, we're going to take him out. Rogers, I just needed you for 1 pitcher. He gets out of the inning. We can take him out next time. We got 2 more innings to tie this game up at least. First and second for Devers. Couldn't do anything there, really. Presley, I need you here. There it is. It comes down to this. They're going to bring in our former closer, Brandon Workman. A single. That's tough. Man. How? Like, this is a good team. This is a strong team. Benintendi, Devers, Bogaerts, JD Martinez, Chavez. You look at this and you go, that's winning you a World Series. I don't understand. I just don't understand, man. Like, just so many players underperformed ever since I said that we were overperforming in season 1. But I guess that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. And that's unfortunate because I really like this team. Financially, we're set in a lot of ways, and I still think this team could grow and get a lot better. But I hope you did enjoy this Red Sox rebuild. Again, guys, there's that poll in the top corner. Click that little eye icon. Go and vote for the team for the next rebuild. And I hope you guys do enjoy this video. If you did, thumbs up down below. Get that like button. Make sure we get, 1,000 likes. You guys have been getting 1,000 likes on almost every single video. If you're new to the channel and enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on that little bell icon. Click it and make sure all notifications are on so you are notified whenever a video does go live. And in the comment section, I asked you guys at the beginning of the video if you wanted to see some career sims. So if you do, go into the comment section, say yes, I want to see some career sims, and then tell me a player you want me to do a career sim on. That's it, guys. I'm going to leave 2 videos for you guys to check out. If you haven't seen either of them, go and give them a watch. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.